All right, let's dive right in. We are about to journey into a truly stunning mystical vision, a glimpse into a celestial world filled with armies of beings that are as beautiful as they are, well, bizarre. But before we break it all down, let's just start with one powerful question. What if the armies of heaven weren't made up of soldiers with swords, but were instead composed of pure light, divine knowledge, and a burning love? That is the incredible idea we're about to explore together. So, where does a vision like this even begin? Well, it starts with the forces on the front lines, you could say. These are the foundational armies, the virtues and powers that the text says interact directly with us, representing the battle for the human soul. Now, the text that you see here describes the visionary's first sight in amazing detail. So let's focus on two key things. First, you have two armies with wings and bright, human-like faces. But then there's this second group, and the description is almost surreal. Their faces were like the image of the Word of God shining in a mirror. Wild, right? Okay, let's break that down a little. So we've got these core armies with two distinct types of faces, one that's recognizably human and another that's like a divine reflection. And you'll notice the structure here. These two armies are surrounded by five more, all arranged in a perfect circle. So a clear sense of order is already taking shape. So who are these beings? Well, the text identifies them as angels and archangels, and their purpose is completely symbolic. They represent pure intellect, the soul's ability to grasp divine understanding. Their brightness is the light of reason and revelation. And what about those five surrounding armies? Those are the virtues and the powers. Their jobs are distinct and actually deeply personal. The virtues are there to build this fortress of goodness inside of us, while the powers act like a divine shield against sin. It's a really powerful metaphor for our own inner struggles. But the vision doesn't stop there. It just keeps building. Beyond these foundational forces, a kind of celestial government is revealed, a whole hierarchy of beings whose job it is to enact divine order in the world. And this hierarchy is laid out almost like a ladder. First up, you have the principalities, who are described as leaders of sincere strength and justice. Then come the dominations, who lift our human reason up from earthly pollution. And at the top of this group are the thrones, and they are described in a very, very different way. This quote just perfectly illustrates the shift. The thrones aren't beings with faces or armor. They're pure color and light, as red as the dawn of the day. The text says this represents divinity itself bending down for human salvation. Their abstract form just emphasizes a power that's almost beyond our ability to comprehend. You can feel it all building to this powerful climax. We've seen intellect, we've seen virtue, we've seen divine order. So what lies beyond that? Who are the beings that exist in the most direct presence of God? And here we are. The vision culminates with the highest orders of the celestial hierarchy, the cherubim and the seraphim. These aren't just participants in the vision. They are the embodiment of the two most essential divine qualities. The imagery here gets even more intense, if you can believe it. First, the cherubim are described as being full of eyes and wings, with mirrors where their faces should be, constantly reflecting divine knowledge. Then you have the seraphim, described with this breathtaking simplicity as burning as if they were a fire. So, here it is, the crucial distinction. The cherubim, full of eyes and mirrors, represent divine knowledge. They see everything. The seraphim, the ones burning like fire, signify divine love. They embody this pure, burning desire for the divine. Knowledge and love, the two supreme forces in this whole celestial order. Okay, so we've seen all these incredible armies, from the angels all the way up to the fiery seraphim. But what are they actually doing? Well, the vision reveals their collective purpose, and it's not some static display. It's an active, dynamic performance. Because this wasn't a silent vision. Not at all. The text explicitly says that all these armies were resounding with wondrous voices and playing every type of music. Just try to imagine that. A cosmic orchestra where each being, from the dawn-red thrones to the fiery seraphim, is its own unique instrument. And the purpose of this incredible celestial symphony? They were glorifying God by performing miracles in the souls of the blessed. Think about that. Every single act of grace, every moment of divine intervention is another note in this grand cosmic performance. The text wraps up by quoting this passage from the Psalms, and this is what anchors the entire mystical vision in a very human reality. The sound of that heavenly music, the joy and salvation it brings, is meant to be heard right here, in the homes and hearts of good people.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In this vision, every single being, from the intellects to the fires, has a vital role in a divine symphony. So if every part of that celestial order has a purpose, what does that suggest about our own?